Think about our massive industrial ports. They're basically the engines of the global economy, right? But what if they've got a hidden health problem, one we can't even see? Today, we're going to look at a new technology that's basically a high-definition MRI, giving us, for the very first time, a complete picture of a port's environmental health.
All right, so let's get right into it. The main problem here, the big issue, is that for all their importance and all their complexity, when it comes to understanding pollution, most ports are, well, they're essentially flying blind. You know, the old way of monitoring with just a few static sensors, it's kind of like trying to understand all the traffic in a massive city just by watching one single street corner. It just can't capture the full picture, especially in an environment that's so dynamic and constantly changing. And believe me, the stakes for flying blind like this are incredibly high. These blind spots lead to all sorts of problems: unmeasured pollution exposure for workers in nearby communities, huge regulatory pressure, and even direct safety threats. Everything from health issues caused by emissions to the risk of totally undetected gas leaks or fires. So just how big is this problem? Get this. Traditional fixed sensors, they capture data from less than 5% of a port's actual area. I mean, let that sink in for a second. That means critical decisions are being made with 95% of the picture completely missing. Okay, so if the old way is so clearly broken, what's the fix? Well, this is where we stop taking these blurry, out-of-focus snapshots and start getting what you could call a new kind of MRI for our ports. And that MRI metaphor, it's pretty much perfect, right? It's the difference between looking at a flat, grainy X-ray versus a super detailed 3D scan. We're going from an incomplete, static snapshot to real-time, hyper-local intelligence. So what's the magic behind this? Well, it's powered by two really cutting-edge technologies: physical AI, which is just AI that understands sensor data from the real world, and this concept of a digital twin. Digital twin. You might have heard that term, but what does it actually mean here? Simple. Think of it as a real-time virtual copy of the entire physical port. It's like a living digital map that's constantly being updated with live data from sensors, showing you exactly what's going on second by second. Okay, so a virtual model sounds cool, right? But how does this all actually work on the ground? You know, in the real world, inside a noisy, busy, complex port? And here's the really smart part. This isn't about ripping out and replacing all the old technology. Nope, it's about combining it. You're adding this powerful new layer of mobile intelligence right on top of the existing static sensors. It's the key to finally seeing the whole port. And this gives you a great picture of how this smart two-layer system actually works. First up, you have mobile sensors. These get mounted on stuff that's already moving around the port. We're talking vehicles, equipment, even robotic dogs. They're constantly scanning the whole area, mapping the environment, and sniffing out pollution hotspots. Then, once you've found a hotspot, you bring in the precision fixed sensors. You place them right there to validate the data and get that official regulatory grade proof. It's a way more efficient, targeted approach. And what are they actually measuring? Well, it's incredibly comprehensive. It's tracking everything from tiny particulate matter in harmful gases all the way to greenhouse gas emissions like CO2, and even physical things like noise and heat. It basically creates a complete, holistic health profile of the port's environment. Right, so you've got all this amazing data. What's the point? The payoff here isn't just about generating more reports. It's about using that information to actively build smarter, safer, and cleaner ports. And just to be super clear, this isn't some far-off theory. This is real, and it's already happening. It's been successfully rolled out at the Port of Antwerp in Belgium, and that's one of the busiest, most advanced ports on the planet. They've woven this tech right into their daily operations to make things run smoother, cut down on pollution exposure, and just make it a better place for their employees to work. When you get down to it, this new level of intelligence hits on all the biggest priorities for any modern port. You get the solid, defensible data you need for compliance. You can create real-time safety alerts for your workers. It gives you transparent ESG reporting for the community. And hey, it can even spot inefficiencies that help the whole operation run better. You see, this completely flips the script on how a port thinks about its environmental data. For decades, that data was seen as a risk, a liability. This system transforms it into a powerful strategic asset. It becomes a tool you can use to build a more efficient, safer, and frankly, a more defensible operation. But here's the thing. Just seeing what's happening in real time, that's amazing, but it's only the beginning. The real game changer, the future of this technology, is all about being predictive. If you look at the roadmap for this tech, you can see a really clear evolution from just reacting to problems to actually preventing them. Future capabilities will add infrared to spot things like heat leaks and safety risks, LiDAR to create even richer 3D models, and 360-degree visual monitoring. And all that data, it feeds into the ultimate goal, predicting and managing risks before they ever become a real problem. And this right here, this quote, just sums up the whole vision perfectly. The goal isn't just to check the boxes and meet today's regulations. It's about getting ahead of the curve. It's all about using intelligence to anticipate and solve problems before they even have a chance to escalate. So think about this. This technology is being proven out in some of the most complex industrial environments we have on Earth. Now, just imagine taking this same kind of real-time environmental MRI and applying it beyond the port. What if every single city could see its own environmental health with this kind of clarity? What kinds of problems could we finally solve if we could actually see the whole picture?